Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase and this is All Things Roam. Today we are going back to vlogging and equipment that could help you increase your views in your YouTube channel. Now I have two things here from Joby. The first one is going to be a Wavo shotgun mic. This, hopefully, if it's any good, is going to be used nearly every video on my second channel, All Things Mind, Body, and Soul. I'll leave a link down below. Please, if you guys want to know a little bit about what's going on in my personal life, go there. It's more of a vlog, weight loss, mind, body, and soul, you know, working on yourself. I'm going to be using this if it's any good on that channel, and it'll be my go-to shotgun mic. I'm very happy with Joby. I've done some reviews on their stuff in the past. Really good stuff. Also, I am looking at their 3K Pro Kit and their Gorillapod specifically. So let's just get a different angle on the camera. Let's do some unboxing and let's check this stuff out. Okay, and like I said, I have the 3K Pro Kit here. We're gonna unbox this last, but let's start with the Wavo right now. The Wavo is supposed to be for a cell phone or a camera. So it can be used either both with like something like a DSLR, Canon or Nikon, or something like your cell phone. I use my cell phone for basically everything, and right now I'm using a wireless lavalier microphone, which sounds okay, but sometimes when you use something like a shotgun mic, it takes away all the ambient noise around you and it focuses directly, and sometimes it gives you a more of a deep tone, and we're going to test that out. More of a deep tone, sort of like a radio tone, some people say, you know, more of a mellow sound. I did use a Rode Mini Mic Me in the past, except over time it just ended up breaking, and I had to switch to something more like a wireless lavalier mic. So let's just go ahead and do a quick unboxing of this and take a look at the product inside. Now this was sent to me free by Joby, but I have been critical of their stuff in the past. I really like what they do, but I always do a pros and cons at the end, and I'm gonna be honest with you. So inside they tell you how to connect it to your phone or a camera. Now the one thing that you guys really have to realize is if you have something like a iPhone that has the lightning cable, you really need the adapter. If not, then you guys have to go out and buy the adapter. It's not really a big deal. Trust me, they're like 10 bucks. Everything right now is pretty cheap because it comes from China. Not really much to it. It's like a plug and play like everything else. Now it does have a foam like wind diffuser. Always just have this on because it's not gonna hurt having it on. If you have it off, I mean, there's no reason really, because this does really reduce some noise. It's funny because most people don't really understand how much something like the big hairy wind diffuser actually does help sort of dampen the sound of ambient noise in the background. Now when I say ambient noise in the background, I don't mean like the stuff out here, because this is designed to shotgun, like it focuses on sound waves right in front of it, right? But a lot of times what you don't realize is there could be something moving, you know, on the cross section, and it could pick it up and it just sounds like garbage. So it just does help. Make sure to always use that. Inside is just a basic 3.5 millimeter cable, and that's it. So it does have a connector right here that connects, I think they're called a horseshoe connector, that basically connects on everything. The cell phone case that I have attached to my cell phone right now is from Small Rig, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4 connectors, or 4 placements on the cell phone holder for something like this. And we're gonna go ahead and toss it on in just a second. So that's basically it. It's a plug and play system. Doesn't take a battery. You just plug it in, and the electricity from your phone is enough to power the microphone. Okay, there are two 3.5 millimeters here, and the way to sort of see the difference in what goes to what. So you can see right here on this 3.5 millimeter jack, it has 3 different, I guess, rings, you could say. Basically, it's levels of connection, right? Each one of these is a different point of connection that does a different thing. This is going to be your cell phone. This is gonna plug, the one with 2 is gonna plug into the back of the microphone, and the one with the 3 is gonna go ahead and attach to the connector to either a lightning cable adapter to your phone, or it's going to connect directly to, you know, whatever you have, an Android phone. I don't have an Android phone, so I don't know if they just use a standard 3.5 millimeter connector that Apple got rid of years ago, or if it's some sort of adapter. I know a lot of the Android right now uses the USB-C type connector, so maybe you do need an adapter. Either way, this goes in the phone, the other one goes into the microphone. Now, the one that goes into a standard DSLR camera looks basically identical on each side. Both have the two rings or the two different sets of connections, and there you go. So that's that. We're gonna test that out in just a minute. Let's go ahead and unbox this 3K Pro kit. Now, I have used a Gorillapod in the past from Joby, and honestly, it's one of my favorite tripods. It is just so handy. It, you know, to have those bendable legs, that honestly, it is my go-to when I'm on the move. There's no reason not to have one. And it's nice to have one that's a little bit bigger, that's a little bit more advanced, especially for you guys out there who use stuff like DSLR cameras, just because this thing offers the ability to hold nearly 7 pounds, right? 6.6 pounds is what this is rated for. And honestly, one of the things I really love about Joby products is the solid aluminum construction. So a lot of times you find these Gorillapod kits, and now in no way is this cheap at all. This is professional photography equipment. So you guys have to really think that, well, the price is gonna be, you know, around the professional level. This is in no way cheap. I think this is like $100 and something. However, it has solid aluminum construction, and one of the things that a lot of the Gorillapod tripod aftermarket or the cheaper market out there, they're made of plastic. And honestly, I had one and it lasted maybe a couple weeks, a couple sort of vlogging shoots, and all of a sudden it was like falling apart. These didn't really, you know, hold any grip anymore. I mean, these, right, the whole point of having one of these, right, is so if I wanted to go out, I could wrap this around the arm of something, right? Let's say I want to go out in the wilderness and I want to wrap this around a tree branch, let's say, or I want to go scuba diving and wrap this around my arm. Well, I want these to remain solid so that it doesn't like loosen up. I know that it's going to grip, it's not going to loosen up. The issue was with the cheaper ones is this stuff gets like worn out really fast, and all of a sudden you go to, hey, I need to grip this around, and there's no more holding strength to it. And one of my Joby Gorillapod that I have, that I've reviewed in the past, that I will leave a link in a card up here, honestly, I've used that so much, and it feels just as tight, that's what she said, as the first time I pulled it out of the kit. Now, one of the things that I think is funny about this is the moment you start, it comes out of the package all nice and straight and perfectly level. You'll never get it back to straight again. I mean, you will if you sit there and you slowly adjust everything, right? And you're like, hey, I'm gonna get it all back to the way it was. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. And it's funny because my buddy has one of these too that he actually spent a lot of money on, and that's what he uses for scuba diving. Now up top here, it does have a removable mount, which is good to see, and it uses a basic, I think it's a 3/8. I don't think this is 1/4, but it uses a basic standard tripod screw mount that you'd find anywhere. So it's going to be compatible with everything that you use. If you move from one tripod to another, it's going to use the same thing. Now, one of the things that I really like about this, especially the professional level stuff, is the mount connections up here, right? Like for instance, if I wanted to go and do some, you know, some filming, one of the things I really like is that I can get everything lined up just fine. It has a 360-degree turret here that is labeled. So it's very easy for you to get very accurate pictures, movies, whatever you want to do. Everything up here is solid aluminum construction. You know, when you go ahead and you want to pivot the mount and you want to get it in the right angle, right? Everything here is so smooth. It's so smooth. Whenever you use any cheap ball joints similar to this, you'll feel like there's like some rough connections and stuff like that, and honestly, it's not like that at all. This thing is so smooth, it's so buttery smooth, it is absolutely ridiculous. I'm actually really excited. You saw me, I just took it out of the box. I'm really excited to use this in the field. It is just like everything on this is, oh man. And even just turning this, right? It just, everything is well oiled. It's so fun. This is definitely, you can definitely tell the quality of a pro kit and the quality of something that's more affordable. Sometimes, okay guys, when it comes to spending money, if you're gonna get into this for the long haul, you're better to spend your money on good equipment that'll last you for a long time, as opposed to spending money on cheap and affordable equipment that you're gonna end up having to replace over and over and over again, because this is like a lifetime buy unless you lose it, as opposed to some things that just that you have to replace over and over and over again. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put this off to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and hook this microphone up, and we're gonna switch from the lavalier mic to the shotgun mic, and we're gonna see if we can hear a difference. Okay guys, and now how does that sound? Now right now the shotgun mic is about, I would say about 1.5 feet away from my face. Now honestly, what you'd normally want is a boom mic just right here, pointing directly at your mouth. Honestly, I just don't have the setup for a boom mic right now, but I do have a setup that sort of gets it a little closer. The problem is I'm not used to shooting this specific style. You know, I'm used to the lavalier mic, so I just don't have the setup. But honestly, guys, how does this sound? Does it sound any better? Does it sound any worse? If I move slightly closer, is that better? Is that worse? I don't know if I'm a little off camera here because I can't really see it. But honestly, what you want to do is get it, I would say, about 1 foot away from the face. But honestly, what do you guys think? I'm going to go back to how I was sitting, and then we'll just wrap up the video. Honestly, when it comes to Joby products, I'm extremely happy with the quality that they bring, especially when it comes to something like a shotgun mic. I've gone through several shotgun mics, and that's why I told you guys in the past, the reason why I like doing these reviews is because if you're starting out a YouTube channel, well, guess what? You'll end up spending a lot of money on equipment that you'll never use, that you'll just sort of waste it, right? You'll sort of just waste the stuff, and you'll have to sort of learn as you go by blowing money. And I like getting my hands on stuff like this so I can sort of bring it to you guys if you're interested. Now, if you like videos and videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment of the content you guys would like to see on this channel. Please hit that notification bell so you guys can be notified when I drop that next video. Until next time.